7:15, there was a line of cabs and cars outside the paper of people waiting to buy the first edition. People who wanted to read it that moment. The Post was reporting information that nobody else was reporting. And that was Bob Woodward and that was Carl Bernstein.
Usually when you have a great story, it isn't exclusive very long because everybody else jumps on it. But with Watergate, I thought, if this is so great, where the hell is everybody else?
There were all these lulls. The story would disappear. And nothing would happen, and then Woodward and Bernstein would write a piece and it would flare up.
No reporter from the Washington Post is ever to be in the White House. Is that clear?
Absolutely.
Unless it's a press conference.
Yes, sir.
No.
Briefings here, but...
on a briefing. But never in the White House, no church service, nothing with Mrs. Nixon.
What we did was a newspaper's defined job, which is to keep the story alive when they were trying to hush it up.
I had a lunch with Katharine Graham, and she asked, when is the whole story going to come out? And I said that Carl and I felt, because it was so concealed, it looked like never. And I remember she, in a very pained way, said, never, don't tell me never. To have the boss, the publisher, understand what we're doing and not just backing it, but saying, go all the way. Do not give up on this story. Don't tell me never.
And we really covered this like local reporters would. If you see the movie of All the President's Men, you see the non-glamorous nature of this shoe leather endeavor.
It was a tribute to the importance of careful reporting. When they started, they had no idea, none, where this story would lead.
In the press room, it was wall-to-wall reporters and camera crews. Shortly after noon, word came that the president had asked for national television time tonight.
The President of the United States will address the nation on radio and television from his Oval Office.
I shall resign the presidency effective at noon tomorrow.
It was the biggest story of our time, and we got it right.
Four of the people closest to President.
I don't think there's been an event in my lifetime that's had such an impact on journalism. Moreover, what Carl and Bob did was begin to cover the White House, as I like to describe it, from the outside in, not from the inside out. And that's the most important way of covering not just the White House, but the institution of the presidency.
Watergate also posed questions about what the proper role of congressional investigation might be.
If you're looking for the moment that people kind of stepped up and did their job in a nonpartisan way, it was in February 1973 when the Senate was presented with a resolution to set up the Watergate Committee. The vote was 77-0.
I was one of the first Republicans to split with the party. It was a moment in history, and the lessons from that moment were that we were going to say that no person is above the law. No matter how powerful you are in this country, you must be held accountable for your adherence or breach of that law.
Watergate led to the creation of something called the independent prosecutor, a new form of power in Washington, in a sense, a permanent investigation.
We said, look, we are going to investigate and go to court and speak what we know to be the truth about the evidence. Had not the President of the United States taped himself, he would have remained in office.
When Richard Nixon taped, he assumed that he would be the only one to listen to those tapes, unless he decided to let somebody else listen to them. He owned them. He was the last president to have that assumption. Presidential papers became public property as a result of Watergate. And that, I believe, constituted a new check on presidential power.
the fact that we came out of it whole and with a sense that the levers of government, the balance of power that's written into our Constitution, a brilliant and living document, survived.
As president, Richard Nixon has drawn crowds to the vast ellipse south of the White House before, but those were triumphs. This was not.
It was very moving to me to see this extraordinarily powerful country with all of its parts and the presidency at the very top of all that it is subject to the rules that apply to the most ordinary citizens. The rule of law does not stop at the White House door, and Watergate demonstrated that.